I built a collection of retro video games worth $30,000 for nothing out of pocket, and today I'm going to tell you exactly how I did that. But first, let's get into a little backstory, how I got into gaming and how I got into collecting in the first place. So let's jump into it. So when I was young, I played a lot of games. I played the Nintendo 64, the original Xbox, the PlayStation 2, and all the way up. I did not discriminate. I like all games. I don't care what platform that it's on. But one thing that I noticed as I got older is there were some games that I wish I would have kept that I ended up getting rid of or trading in because I wanted something different when I was younger. So as I got older, into high school, maybe a little bit out of high school, I started to feel the need to collect physical games and have them on the shelf so I can play them at any time that I wanted to, on demand. So that's exactly what I did. I started collecting as soon as I got out of high school. The problem is, whenever you're young and out of high school, you don't really have a lot of money, so you gotta find a way to do this as cheap as possible. So I remember when I first started collecting video games, I would get on Facebook Marketplace and I would look for Facebook listings with video games. And for a while that was working out well, but then things started to get pretty competitive with people that lived around me. People started to get into the same thing as far as getting on Facebook and looking for video games. So I had to come up with a little bit of a cheat code, if you will. So this is what I would do. I would go on Facebook Marketplace and I would look for any post other than a video game post. We're talking motorcycles, couches, anything like that. And I would message them and be like, hey, do you happen to have any Nintendo 64, any PlayStation, any old video games? 99% of the people would message back and be like, why are you messaging me about games? I posted a couch. But the 1% that would message back would be like, yeah, my son has a bunch of those. He's been looking to sell those. Or, oh yeah, I have a lot of those in my closet and I've been looking to get rid of them. I just thought it was junk. So that 1% is the demographic that you're really after. I mean, if you really think about it, it's a numbers game, and that 1% is the number that really hits. So basically what I would do is I would buy this stuff for super cheap and I would sell it for super high. So my theory is, as long as the person that I'm buying from is happy and I'm happy, then there's nothing to complain about. So what I would do is I would buy from them for super cheap, I would keep the stuff that I wanted, and I would sell the stuff that I didn't want. So every transaction, I would be adding hundreds of dollars worth of games to the collection, also putting money into my pocket, and, rinse and repeat over and over and over again, I would do this. And what you're seeing right here is an accumulation of the past 2 or 3 years of collecting. Whenever I was younger, out of high school, 18, 19, I did have a small collection, but I ended up selling a lot of it because I had just had my first kid, didn't really have the room for it, and I kind of fell out of the love of collecting during that time. So again, what you're seeing right now is the past 2 or 3 years roughly of what I've collected. And like I said, $30,000 plus worth of games, and probably about 900 to 1,000 physical games, if I had to guess. And the cool thing about this hobby is you run into games that maybe you would never be looking for, but you pick them up anyway because they have a little value and they look cool, and you end up finding a game that you've never heard of and you end up loving it. And a lot of the stuff in this game room is exactly that, because you don't get to exactly pick what you're getting whenever you're going on Marketplace and buying just collections of games. You kind of just have to get what you can get. But yeah, guys, that's basically how I was able to accumulate all these games for absolutely free. I will say, like, the bigger items like the kiosk and the PS1 Neon, those were traded for with people locally, but it was with games that I had already made my money back on, already made my profit on, so we were good to go there. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. Let me know the craziest find you've ever gotten. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got, so I'll catch you next time. Peace.